So students will be discussing about PLL, how PLL, what are the characteristics of PLL, how PLL is designed, what are the trade-offs in the design, and then I will start new topic, that is synchronous system characteristics. So what is PLL? PLL is used to multiply the input frequency provided by off-chip crystal generator to generate the on-chip clock signal. Not only that, it track and compensate for effects of process and environment variations on the generated clock signal. It means it controls jitter and skew. It achieves inter-chip synchronization by producing two clock signal on separate ICs, but clock to same reference signal provided by single off-chip crystal oscillator. Achieve timing recovery in high-speed parallel link. Manage the duty cycle of on-chip clocks. And this is the output signal. So this is output signal is coming from VCO, and reference signal is coming maybe outside the chip. So for to get the locking condition, always these two signals are compared using phase frequency detector. Error is generated, converted into DC voltage, and that DC voltage is used to control the on-chip voltage control oscillator. So this is how this is working. As I have already described, off-chip clock signal is taken from the generated by the crystal oscillator, and that is used as a one input to the phase frequency detector, and another input is derived from the on-chip clock generator using divide by n network, and then the error voltage is generated, which is used to control the clock signal. Why we require divide by n? Because frequency of the on-chip signal is n times higher than crystal oscillator frequency. This is the another application of PLL, inter-chip synchronization. So here you can see two different chips are there, which are synchronized by the same crystal oscillator. Not only that, these signals are used in another third chip. So that chip can also be synchronized with the same crystal oscillator. Why? Because this data in 1 and data in 2 are in step with the crystal oscillator. That is why the third chip can also be synchronized with the outside frequency generator crystal oscillator. Then another application of the PLL is if you have the clock generator in the transmitter, then you can transmit that using divide by AN network. You can convert it into low frequency, and then you can transmit for the synchronization purpose to the receiver. So if such arrangement is done, then clock data recovery circuits are not required in the receiver. They are bandwidth, stability, and output jitter. So what is bandwidth? Bandwidth determines how fast PLL can respond to temporal variations in power supply and temperature. During the lock state, the phase difference between the reference signal and output signal of PLL is normally constant. If excessive on-chip power supply noise disturbs the PLL output signal, the PLL can leave the lock state. A specific amount of time is required for PLL to detect this disturbance and readjust the output signal to achieve the lock condition. So a large PLL bandwidth reduces the response time, thereby improving the ability of PLL to track dynamic variations. Another specification is stability. The system should have sufficient damping to ensure the PLL remains stable under all the conditions. What is output jitter? It closely related to bandwidth. Any disturbance faster than response of PLL produces phase deviations. Then what are the components of PLL? Phase frequency detector, charge pump, loop filter, VCO, and feedback divider. So we'll see one by one in this lecture. So what is phase frequency detector? So phase frequency detector compare two signal, give the error voltage. So different types of phase frequency detectors are there: XOR based phase frequency detector, PFD, and sequential PFD. So what is XOR based phase detector? So that is shown here. So it is only used when both the frequencies are same and having the phase difference error between 0 to pi. Because you can see here the characteristic of the XOR gate. Between 0 to pi, the control voltage generated increases. After, if phase difference is greater than pi, then control voltage decreases. So that is why it cannot be used when the phase difference is greater than pi. Then another is dual loop PLL. So you can see here there are two loops are there for controlling the VCO. When both the frequencies are not same, then first this first loop is open, and it will try to achieve frequency lock between the VCO signal and the signal which is used for the synchronization purpose. Then once the frequency of the VCO and input signal is same, then second loop is activated, so which will generate the phase error between the VCO signal and input signal, and it will bring phase lock between the input signal and VCO signal by generating the error, and slowly that error will decreases as soon as we get the lock. So this is the called D flip-flop based phase frequency detector, or you can say sequential phase detector. So what it is used for phase error from 0 to 2 pi. Not only that, it can be also used when both the frequencies are not same. So you can see here, this is 4 diagram explain the working of the sequential phase frequency detector. When V1 is leading V2 in the first diagram, V1 is leading V2, then up signals are generated. When V2 is leading V1, down signals are generated. Not only that, when V1, V2 frequencies are not same, then also it can be used. So you can see here, this is V1 is high frequency and V2 is low frequency. Then up signal generators are more as compared to down signal. Similarly, when V2 frequency is higher than V1 frequency, up signals are very few, but down signals are generated more. So this is the control voltage generated with for phase difference 0 to 2 pi. Not only that, when lagging kind of errors are there, then also control voltage generated which decreases. So you can see here, for all different conditions, a sequential phase frequency detector is very versatile, so it is used. So then charge pump. So what is charge pump? It merges up and down signals, because and generate a single current which is, it combined the up and down voltages and converted into charging and discharging current for the loop filter. So loop filter removes the ripples which are there in that current and further generate the control voltage which is used for the VCO to bring the lock condition between the its own signal and the signal which is coming from the outside. So these are the characteristics: static phase offset. So the mismatch between, you can say, your up and down signal generate the static phase offset. Then this is the loop filter shown in the circuit. So current mismatch will occur because of 3 different problems: channel length modulation, charge sharing, and current overshoots, which in detail we will be discussing in the lecture. Then this is the VCO. So you can see here the control voltage which is generated, that is applied to your tank circuit capacitor. So this is called varicap diode. So this capacitor adjust its value with variation in the DC biasing voltage. So it is a varicap diode actually. When it is reverse bias and this reverse voltage varies, its capacitance varies. So as a result, it is able to vary the frequency and phase. So then design criteria for VCO: linearity, tuning range, VCO gain, noise performance. These are the design criteria for VCO. We'll see in the detail in lecture. Then this is the loop filter. So you can see here this is first diagram. A diagram shows the you can say first order filter, and second diagram it is a second order filter. And you can see here how the ripples which are there is converted into DC voltage. So there are ripples in which are already present in the control voltage, and that must be removed in order to convert it into DC voltage, which can be used for biasing purpose to the varicap diode which is lying in the tank circuit of the, you can say, VCO, in order to bring the lock condition. So now we will start another chapter which is known as synchronous system characteristics. So we'll discuss about the characteristic mostly which is you can say related to clock signal. So what are the characteristics? You can see here we will be discussing about setup and hold timings, race condition, and how it is to be taken